If you want to start eating healthy but don't have much time to prepare your own meals or do a meal prep, this for you. For those who don't know me, my name is Gayan Pereira. I have helped over 1,200 Sri Lankan expats over the past decade to lose body fat, build muscles, and improve their health. So for the next in the next few minutes, I'll walk you through a few things you can do to um, reduce your meal preparation time by a lot. Also, you don't have to necessarily cook. There are other ways you can do it, so we'll discuss about that as well. Cool. All right, let's start. Number one, choose simple meals. If your recipes have like 20 different ingredients and involve 12 different steps to cook it, that's going to take a lot of time, complicated. Shopping takes too much time, and that's not going to be very practical if you are really busy. And even if you plan it out well, like every once in a while, you get like things get out of hand and out of control, then you're not going to be able to do it. So keep things as simple as possible. Continuing on the same point, one pot meals are a great option if you are really tight with the time. There are a few ways you can do it. I'll give you my favorite. I don't do a whole lot of cooking anymore, but I'll give you my one of my favorite recipes that I use all the time when I used to cook. So let's 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 take an example and let's just assume we are going to cook for 3 days. So for 3 days, I would use 150 grams of rice or 200, depending on what you want to do. Your preferences, calories, all that comes into consideration. So let's say 150 grams of rice. Raw weight, when you cook it, it will be 450 grams because when you cook rice, it becomes three times of the raw amount. Okay, so 150 grams of rice, 150 grams of frozen mixed vegetables, 150 grams of enoki mushrooms, so the thin ones that you use in hot pot, allow them. So you don't have to use exactly the same vegetables that I'm talking about now. You can use your favorite vegetables. It doesn't really matter. 150 grams of bean sprouts, 150 grams of baby corn. Now I put everything into a rice cooker, add some water, then I let it cook in the rice cooker, everything together. Now that gives you about 150 grams of cooked rice, so per meal, 150 grams of cooked rice, and roughly 200 grams of vegetables. It's fantastic. It doesn't take much time. You just chuck everything in and do, if you have to do something, you just do that. Now, all you have to do is add a protein while it's cooking in the rice cooker. If you want to bake something, fish, chicken, air fry something, you can do that. Again, all you have to do is just prepare it, put it in the oven or air fryer, then you can do your work and while it cooks. Okay, so that saves a lot of time. Um, the next point or the next step is buy cut meat in the exact same amount you want. So let's say for the previous, now I cooked my one pot meal. I have rice and my vegetables. I have my carbs and vegetables. Now I need a protein. So let's say I need 150 grams of chicken per day. So I need 450 grams for those 3 meals, right? So I'm gonna buy 450 grams of chicken exactly in like cut chicken or chicken strips. If you can't, sometimes you can ask for the exact same amount in Delhi in supermarket and buy diced meat or like strips. But if you can't do that in your supermarket, go to a butcher. Generally, butchers don't mind that. You can ask for the exact same amount. Then if you ask them to cut it for you, they usually don't mind that. So by the time I get home, everything is measured. I don't have to measure them again and cut it for me. I don't have to cut again. These little things add up and save a lot of time at the end of the day. Okay. The next one is use frozen vegetables. Now, before I move forward, I want to address a couple of things because two of the most common questions I get with frozen vegetables are they as nutritious as fresh vegetables? Yes, freezing is a great way of preserving nutrient values long term. It's great. It is as nutritious as fresh fruit. If there are any differences, it'll be marginal, not something you need to worry about. The other one is the chemical. For some reason, people seem to think freezing frozen vegetables have more chemicals than fresh vegetables. And if you think about it, I don't know the exact process that goes into freezing, but I would assume you'll pluck vegetables, wash it, like do the little preparations they need to do, cut, then they will freeze it right away. Now with fresh vegetables, you pluck it, wash it, then you take it to a warehouse, keep it in the warehouse, then transportation to another location, to a supermarket, then you keep that in the supermarket on the shelves for a while. So all that time extend the time that that vegetable that need to stay fresh and look appetizing for you to buy, right? So that's gonna there's going to be more preservatives involved to keep them look fresh. I know that they're getting refrigerated. The idea is the frozen vegetables are either similar to fresh vegetables in terms of chemical, or at least it's not worse. Okay, so don't quote me on those ones because I don't know the exact process that goes into preparation and bringing to the supermarkets. I'm just giving you a rough idea of what would look like, and those are not good reasons not to buy frozen vegetables. But if you don't like frozen vegetables, the taste wise, yeah, by all means, just buy fresh vegetables. I'm just yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Cool. Now the next one is the batch cooking. This is probably the most obvious one. So the meal prep or the batch cooking. Choose meals that you can batch cook. Things like the simple meals that you can batch cook. Things like fried rice, nasi goreng, pasta, things like that. Now, if you're thinking of nasi goreng, fried rice, aren't they unhealthy food? Then no, not really. It's the way you cook it. Of course, if you add some lot of unnecessary stuff, that's going to be really high in calorie, and also it could be quite unhealthy. But yeah, some really good recipes. If you're not how to do it like in a healthier way, let me know. I can send them over to you. Also, I have some 5 ingredient recipes. I have a recipe book that just include 5 ingredient recipes. So simple, easy to cook. If you need that, let me know. I can send that over to you. Um, it's just the way you cook. I mean, think about it. The fried rice is just rice, vegetables, and you add the protein. So the only difference between a one-pot meal and a fried rice is just you add protein in the cooking process rather than adding it later, and you probably need to use some oil, butter. You can use butter, coconut oil, olive oil, something to cook. So yeah, it's not unhealthy. It's just the way you cook. Okay. Um, yeah. So when you bulk cook or batch cook, if you just cooking, let's say if let's assume you're cooking for the entire week, or let's say 4 days. Okay. A lot of my clients cook twice per week. If you want to cook for, I have some clients just cook for the entire week as well. So it doesn't really matter. Multiply everything by the number of meals you're going to cook everything together. Then after you cook, you don't have to measure again. You can just eyeball it for the number of portions you cook. Okay. Now the next one is the meal plan itself. So plan it in a way that fits your schedule. If you don't have much time from the moment you wake up to the time you have to get out of the door, don't try to do complicated meals in the morning. That's not going to work. If you over yeah, if your alarm doesn't go off like one day, then you're going to be in trouble. So things like smoothies, quick oats, yogurt, and protein. Those things are very simple. Doesn't take much time. And great options if you're time poor in the morning. Okay. Smoothies, you can just literally, it takes less than 5 minutes. You can blend everything and just pour into a shaker or something. You can take it away with you. You can obviously drink while you are driving if it's allowed in the country you live in. Also be careful. I don't want to take that responsibility. I don't want to take that responsibility. Or you can take it to the work and drink it while you are working. Okay. And the lunch and dinner. Now, you can obviously eat exactly the same thing for lunch and dinner, But if you want the variety, you can have something for either for the lunch or the dinner, depending on your preference. You can have something like fried rice, pasta, nasi goreng, or something like that for either lunch or the dinner. And the other one, you can have something like burger, um, submarine, a wrap. Again, they are not unhealthy food. It's the way you cook. Okay. Um, Even with those ones, I recommend preparing the filling in advance and keep it in the fridge. Then when it's time to cook or take it to work, all you have to do is just assemble it. You can, whatever you have to do, like reheat, toast it, air fry it, whatever you have to do, you can do it because it doesn't take much time because everything is just prepared in advance. All you have to do is assemble it very quickly. Okay. Then the snacks, you can have fresh fruits, cottage cheese, again, protein yogurt, protein shakes. There are a lot of options. Um, cool. Um, Another trick when you cook, when you prepare meals, um, cook at use few different stations and cook few different things at the same time. What I mean by that, you can have your one pot rice and vegetables cooking in the rice cooker. You can have fish or something baking in the oven. You can have something happening on the air fryer, something just cooking on the stove tops. So you're still spending this exactly the same time in the kitchen, but you are cooking multiple things at the same time rather than just use one station, cook one thing and cook another thing. So that way it's going to take a lot of time. So just choose different recipes or meals that you can utilize everything you have and cook at the same time. That's going to save a lot of time. If you're super organized, this cooking for the entire week shouldn't take more than 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. um yeah, I mean, in the beginning, it can take slightly longer because you're figuring things out, but uh, when you do it a couple of times, you will figure out the most efficient way to do it, and the time should be anywhere between 2 to 3 hours. That's excluding the shopping time. If you don't have the time to go to the supermarket and buy stuff, obviously you can order online and get the groceries delivered. But if you go to the supermarket and buy yourself, then you are going to get some steps with that. So that's a bonus. Um, cool. Yeah, I wanna mention one more thing before I end the video. If you are really, really tight with the time and have a really busy work schedule or like have family, kids, like if you're super busy, do not feel like you have to cook. Don't feel like you have to cook because I know a lot of people, a lot of personal trainers are guilty of this as well, saying people, everybody has 24 hours a day. Yes, numerically, but everyone's 24 hours looks different. Um, for someone who has a very demanding, busy job with the family, with little kids, their 24-hour looks very different to someone's like a young personal trainer does not have much responsibilities, right? Um, so yeah, and the other thing is, um, how I mean, you have to take into consideration your how valuable your time is as well. I have entrepreneurs that their time is very, very valuable, and I have some clients that are consultants charge like $500-600 an hour. If they have to take 2-3 hours from their working schedule and cook, they're going to lose like $1,500 to $2,000 by doing that. So for them, it's a great option to order from a meal prep service. Meal prep services, yeah, they're a great option for like busy people. They are already, the calories macros already calculated for you. They are a little bit more expensive compared to cooking meals yourself. But for those people that are really busy, then their time is better off spending somewhere else. Then for them, something like that is a great option. Okay, I just wanted to mention that because sorry about that. Because I'm just gonna hold it because I don't want you to feel bad if you are really tight with the time. You don't have to necessarily. Okay, awesome. I hope that helped. If you want any of the recipes or the recipe books I mentioned, send me a message. I can send them over to you.